Hello and welcome to, I think, the 6th episode of the Two Scrooges podcast.
Something like that.
I am Dave Solberg. I go by Attackfortwo online, joined by Bumi Jr. Scott. Welcome. How are you?
Doing great. How about you, Dave?
Doing wonderful.
Awesome.
We are here today to put the icing on top of season 1 of Disney Lorcana, the first 2 years. For those of you, most everybody probably knows that with set 9 coming out in 2 weeks, we will be rotating out sets 1 through 4. So core constructed will be 5 through 9.
Yep.
And with that, I wanted to look back on the first 2 years and do a little award ceremony for the best 15 cards.
15? What made you pick 15?
It just worked out. I put them in buckets.
Okay.
And it just happened to work out.
Okay.
So I'm going to share screen.
Are we counting down from 15 to number 1?
No. In fact, we're going to go through some honorable mentions and then
top 15 all tied for first place.
And then we'll come back.
Okay.
All right. Let me know if you can see my PowerPoint.
First annual Disney Lorcana Ball hosted by the Two Scrooges at McDuck Manor.
Yes.
Yes. We're both in separate rooms of the manor right now, recording.
Yes.
Let's do it.
But these are the 15 cards invited to the ball.
All right.
And then we'll talk about some other cards too.
Good pun. They should make a promo.
Yes. First, some housekeeping. Rest in peace, Bucky. It's only because you were errated and then became unplayable that we're even allowed to have the show.
Yep.
I don't know that the game would have survived a full 2 years of the the squirrel squeak tutor.
Yeah, I don't know. I saw a few voices online asking to have him reverted in the midst of what were probably 2 of the best formats we had, but we could ignore that.
Yeah,
this card was so toxic.
So for sure, Bucky in the format shown on the screen, in his original form, would have made the list if he were allowed to stay that way and play through the format.
Oh, for sure.
But also, if that remained the case, I don't know that anybody would still be playing Disney Lorcana. Everybody would be playing Bucky, Diablo, Mirrors all day,
or Hiram Sisu decks, and those would be the only 2 decks you could play.
Yeah. All right. With that, some people who didn't make it into the ball, but maybe could have. Let me go to the next slide. The honorable mentions.
Ooh.
We've got Cinderella, Ballroom Sensation, Ariel, Spectacular Singer, Merlin, Goat, and Rabbit, The Queen's Castle.
Okay.
Prince John, Lucky Dime, Maui, and Strength of a Raging Fire.
I feel a little personally offended by one of these honorable mentions.
Which one?
Cinderella. I think that card warped the format in a way, actually, that was good. I'm changing my tune a bit from what we've talked about before, because when we saw at Worlds, when the aggro decks could just run rampant, the format was, I don't know, not good, not enjoyable.
So was that Cindy or Let the Storm Rage On that did that?
Yes.
Yes.
The two together.
Yeah, so I did top 15. So if you were looking at top 20, you would have to take 5 of these 9. I would guess the 2 Merlins, the Maui, Cinderella, and then take your pick of these 4 to get in. I don't think Queen's Castle would have made it.
No, Queen's Castle stopped being relevant after a while. I think the 20th spot it's really, really close between Lucky Dime and Maui.
Yes, I agree.
But I think Strength of a Raging Fire is left off a bit by the 2 slightly better removal spells that may or may not be on your top 15 list.
All right. So now, next slide, number 1, the best card, the host of the ball. In future years, should we continue to do this next year, the award will be in this card's honor.
Okay.
Going forward. Your guess for the best card of the first 2 years.
Hiram Flaversham.
Yes, you made it.
Without a doubt.
The goat sits on a throne, wears the crown, has the statue out front. Whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
Um,
yeah. This
not
is
not even great in a bad way. Now playing against him was quite frustrating because there was no possibility to go long against Hiram Flaversham.
no.
You had to go under.
Yeah.
When he was around, and if you ever quested, you were almost certainly buried in card advantage. One of the 2 cards that was banned in set 7 when Bell and Scrooge the resourceful miser and Tamatoa came out. The engine was just too good.
Yeah.
And Hiram was the one that rightfully so had to get removed from the format, but sailed off into the sunset, not sent to the gates of hell.
Right. Yeah.
Was he a good toy maker? There's the meme. Was I
good? Yeah.
Was I a good toy maker? He was the
some
best.
Some say you were the best. Yeah.
Yeah, the best toy maker. Combined with Popsicle, easily, the undisputed best resource engine you could possibly have. Better than the honorable mentions we showed on the previous slide, which were like the competition would have been Rabbit, right?
Right. Yep. Yeah.
But,
no, this card did so much work for blue decks. Like there was a lot of sentiment, at least in the discords that I'm in, that blue was just going to be completely unplayable without Hiram Flaversham. And DKP, his deck was still very, very strong, but it was not this Hiram Flaversham fueled Sisu deck, and that kind of survived the bannings. But I think for the most part, that and then Blurple, which didn't play this, were the only decks, the only blue decks moving forward. Like Blue Steel just stopped existing.
Yeah, it turns out that without Hiram Flaversham, DKP showed the world that Red Blue can be aggressive, and not an aggressive in like the sense that we, not like an aggro deck, but like a very linear, proactive game plan.
Yep,
that was quite powerful.
Ramp Shark
on the back of another card that we will see on the list in a moment.
All right.
Anything left to say on the great toy maker, Hiram Flaversham?
I expect this card to be banned in Infinity sooner rather than later. Because I think what we're going to see, in the first couple, Infinity events is the set 7 blue steel deck. I don't know if it really got anything from set 8, but the set 7 blue steel deck, the set 7 blue red deck, and I guess it's possible with the existence of Lady, the Amber decks will be able to get under Hiram more consistently. But I think the deck the format's going to be dominated by Hiram decks.
Yeah. The other worry in Infinity is that blue-green is playable.
Yeah.
And then it will just be the worst experience of all time.
And
action will need to be taken here.
Yeah. All
right. So next, I grouped 3 cards together, and I called them the security for the ball.
Okay.
They're in the ball, but they're employees of the convention. They keep, they're the gatekeepers for who can get in, who can party, who can play, who can come and enjoy their time there. And what I mean by that is that these 3 cards basically defined what was playable, basically since they came into the game.
Okay.
Any guesses on what those 3 cards are?
Pete. and Ursula have got to be two of them.
Oh no.
No. Oh boy. I think I must be thinking in the wrong direction.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll jump to it.
Gotcha. This makes a lot of sense as the bouncers of the ball.
Yeah, these are the bouncers.
Yeah.
They're present, but nobody really likes them. You know, they're here. But if you might like one of the three, but the other two for sure you'll probably have beef with. But these were the limiting factors on the format basically since that ride, right? Let the Storm Rage on. You couldn't play any willpower character that cost more than one or two.
No, you really couldn't. They'd have to have a really, really strong on play effect, and even then,
yeah,
like let the Storm Rage on made Maleficent Sorceress unplayable.
It made a great deal of cards unplayable.
Yeah. Fox in the same regard.
Yeah, in a different way. Basically clamped down on also the same small creatures, but you know, or characters, but in the Fox regard, right? Something like the Sisu Water Dragon, which is a legendary from the same set it was in Head. No chance of ever seeing competitive play. First, because it was competing with Hiram Flaversham, but also just because of how poorly it lined up with Madame M. Fox. And basically anything that cost more than 3 that didn't trade with Fox.
Yeah, anything that was 2, 4, or less strength that cost, I don't know, 3, 4 right out. You could play some of the 3s, but they're still pretty rough. But Fox bullied a lot of stuff out of the format.
Yeah, I think Madame M. Fox by the end, you know, by set 7 and 8, kind of became a hero of the format. The other two, certainly not, right? And they're the reason they're on the outside. The Let the Storm Rage on, clamping down on the little stuff, and Sisu, you know, clamping down on everything.
Yeah.
But Fox, in a lot of ways, was, you know, I think regarded fondly among the player base. Certainly wasn't that it wasn't that way, you know, early on.
No, Fox was very annoying early on. I think it took the community a long time to figure out that yes, they're always going to have Fox, and it's always going to munch your thing. Like, I don't know if you remember this, but playing games as not the Fox deck, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna try to get away with it this turn. I'm gonna turn my little guys sideways, and it's like, yeah, I had the Fox. I'm gonna 2 for 1 you now. Sorry.
Yep. And you know, the bounceability with Goat, with the Merlin Goat, Merlin
Rabbit,
Rabbit, even the Crab taking out Queen's Castle. I think by about set 4 and 5, Madame M. Fox started trending down. A lot of that I think has to do with like premium threats gaining evasive. Like Diablo getting evasive.
Genie
eventually when it came along in set 6.
Maui Shark. But
but Madame M. Fox is the card on this list that won both Continentals.
So,
still very good, very highly regarded.
Sisu won one of them, right?
Yeah, Sisu was an Ed's deck.
Yep, Sisu
maybe even a one of in the European Continentals deck. Could be.
Yeah,
but I bet you dislike Sisu more than I do. So you want to say a few words.
As an avid Piglet enjoyer, Sisu was the bane of my existence for so long. And even when I tried to build my deck and adjust my lines to not get blown out by Sisu, my opponents always had 2 ice blocks or a coil or whatever. It's like, okay, I'm going to, you're going to be prepared me. I'm going to play a Lawrence and a Smee. And they're like, okay, ice block, your Smee, play coil ink, coil your Lawrence, play Sisu, get both your guys. It was so frustrating. Like, I understand Sisu as a control card. Like, Sisu kind of allowed these late game red control decks to exist just by the way she is. And some people are like, she shouldn't be a 5/4, she shouldn't quest for 3, but control decks need to close the game quickly, because a lot of the time they're on a clock, and if they run out of resources, especially in a post Hiram world, if they run out of resources, they aren't going to be able to answer everything at 18. So they do need to be able to close out. I really disliked playing against this card, and then there was a very brief period of time where everybody took ice blocks out of their deck, and I had no trouble with with Sisu decks. But all of the time she was paired with those strength reducing cards was just frustrating.
Yeah. I think the red blues that were before Hiram was removed from the format, that was allowed to play ice blocks, and then the Sapphire Coil after that was just over the top with Sisu. Like when Sisu was good enough when it was just hitting two strength characters, but when it was also able to hit 3 and 4, sometimes 5 and 6 strength characters,
easily,
it became overwhelming. And then of course she quests for 3.
Yeah, watching your buddies Maui Shark, from the side rail get coiled 3 times, and then they play a Sisu is just demoralizing.
Yeah, and she closed the game so fast.
Yeah, and she
she
ended the game very quickly.
Traded with Maui too, like even if you were in a red mirror. Another reason why Madam and Fox may be regarded in a positive light. Fox took out a lot of Sisus that had turned sideways for 3.
Right. Yeah. This side kind of exemplifies an adage in TCGs where formats are defined by the removal.
Yeah.
And these are 3 extremely format defining cards. They kept a lot of otherwise would be interesting or fun things out.
Yep. All right. Moving on to the next section. 3 uninkable cards that have been the predominant cards in the game since their arrival. Not all showed up in the first set, but just defined the game from the moment they have arrived, never left the format. Although A Whole New World did eventually trickle out.
Yeah.
Although not all, right? If you were playing in set 8, if you were playing Amber Steel Aggro and you played against A Whole New World, that the whole Amber Steel song versions, it was quite painful.
Yeah. It was interesting because the late game decks got worse against A Whole New World because Fishbone Quill wasn't being played, and the early game decks got way better against A Whole New World because they would empty their hand very quickly, get a fresh 7 from their opponent's Whole New World, and empty their hand again, and the songs couldn't keep up with that.
Yep. Be prepared. The quintessential removal spell, the sweeper.
Yep.
That's existed from the very beginning, like the reason basically to play red from the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
Along with Maui. Those have been the 2 mainstays basically forever. May be prepared. Rest in peace, because it's not coming back. None of these 3 cards are.
Nope.
None of the cards we've shown so far are coming back.
No. Are there any set 5 through 8 cards on your top 15?
We're getting there.
Okay.
All right. I'll tease you.
Yeah. These cards were build-arounds, like their whole archetypes basically based on trying to play one of these things and then do something powerful after you do that.
Not even that, but they were build-arounds in the sense that you had to build your deck to have have a plan against them.
Yeah.
Like the players were building around them, and even if you weren't playing those, you had to build around.
Yeah.
What if my opponent shifts Diablo?
You have to know when your opponents are going to be prepared. Sometimes you have to play a board that's going to be threatening enough to bait the be prepared, and then you can follow up and hope they don't have the second be prepared. A Whole New World was A Whole New World, I think, was frustrating to play against in the same sense that Sisu was, because once the Whole New World train was rolling, it was you sit there, you spend ink on a thing, Your opponent plays 18 ink worth of cards in a turn, draws 7.
There's another card that we'll get to later on the list that made a whole new world so much worse.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tease that one. And then Diablo, any final words as we show Diablo the way out? This will be hopefully his last ever. First and only. God. Some of the other cards I'd be happy to see back. Diablo, I hope you're buried out back.
Yeah, Diablo. Diablo just I think if you have this Diablo and the only thing he can shift onto costs 2 or doesn't take all of the risk away from a high risk, high reward play, I think that's fine. Like the one drop Diablo, I think was one of the major problems of this Diablo, because you play Diablo, you see, oh, coast is clear.
Yep.
I'm just going to shift and start drawing my cards every turn. Or you play it and you see, oh, coast isn't clear. Let me wait until I can discard cards out of your hand.
Yeah, let me just play this Ursula on turn 2 and clear the way. Thank you.
Yeah, let me play this Ursula on 2, clear the way. Or if I don't have the Ursula, I'll play Pete on 3, and then I'll shift and I'll get my card, and then I can start ripping cards out of your hand after that.
Yeah, and then eventually the Belgians figured out you could basically shift this on the play, every other game by playing 8 1-drop Diablos, and it can sing friends.
Yep.
And it was just too much.
Yeah. This was probably, after Hiram, the card that was called for bannings the most, and I don't necessarily disagree with those people.
Yeah. I will say, like, that was kind of the problem of this format, was that if you put answers in your deck for Diablo, you were 0%. You were basically like 0% into red blue.
Yeah, you're just adding bricks to your deck.
Yeah,
against
like
red
if
blue,
you played Fire the Cannons, you were just crushing yourself against the,
Mm-hmm.
you were getting stretched, right? It's like you could either devote your deck to fighting red blue or devote your deck to fighting Diablo, but if it's very difficult to do both unless you played Brawl. Brawl was like the overlap, until Hiram was gone.
But then the Diablo player would see that you have Brawl, and then they just put him in a cove.
Yep. Yep. Good riddance. Bye.
You won't be missed.
Nope. All right.
Moving on.
The regulars. Just for the same reason, cards, they're always there. They're always, like, if you were playing these colors, you were putting these cards in your deck.
Yeah.
They were in a way reasons to play this deck. They were the glue that held these colors together.
Yeah.
Understated. They weren't, nobody was ever calling to ban these cards. Even if it felt like they probably should be sometimes.
Maybe number 4 there, the blue one. People were talking about banning one and that one banned, and then Fortisphere. I think the blue steel players would take that swap in a heartbeat.
Yeah, for sure. They get to keep their 1-drop item that draws a card, and red blue has to dump theirs.
Yep.
Two of these cards I know you're an enjoyer of.
Yeah, they pair very well together. You get 2 damage on your Smee, you heal him up. He goes for another 6. You draw a couple cards.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, these are just very solid role players. Rapunzel, I think, is probably the most polarizing in between when it's floor and its ceiling. Highest ceiling, lowest floor of all of these, for sure. When you drew 3 cards off Rapunzel, you just couldn't lose that game. It's just impossible. But sometimes you play a 1-5-2 for 4, and that's what you needed.
We have very different opinions of Rapunzel. You tell a story, or like to say that you look at your opponent and you're like, oh, I think you have a brain, so I'm going to ink this Rapunzel.
Yep.
I'm never giving my opponent
never giving them the credit,
that benefit of the doubt. I'm turning Larry sideways, and Smee sideways.
You'll let her rot in your hand.
Yeah, I'd let her rot in my hand because I'm addicted to drawing those 3 cards.
Trying to get that value, yeah.
Yep.
No, these
Friends on the other side has been easily the most played card ever for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I had 4 foil friends that have been in sleeves for 2 years, never took them out.
Yeah.
Basically always played them in any deck. I know a lot of people towards later parts of the format were cutting friends from green purple tempo or from purple steel, but never me.
No.
I always kept those 4 around.
No. A lot of the purple players I know said you can't ever cut friends, and I'll listen to those people.
It's pot of greed, right? It's a free draw too.
Yeah, it's a free draw too. Not coming back.
Yep. Ursula, the only card
Yep.
that we've seen so far coming back.
Yep.
Just
I think
glue.
I think Ursula is an excellent evergreen card.
Yeah.
If Ursula didn't exist and the whole new world decks could just like keep a whole new world in their hand every game, like getting something to sing a whole new world on turn 3 or 4 was trivial by the end of set 8. If you could just keep all of your best songs in your opening hand every game and never get punished for it, I think the format would have been a lot worse.
Interestingly enough, probably the biggest delta of win-loss when played of maybe any card on this list.
Yeah.
Because if you played Ursula and hit, you were in such a good spot. And if you played Ursula and missed,
you played a 1. You played a 1/3 without
you
text.
basically discarded your own card.
Yeah.
But anybody in our Discord, I like to hop in and stream some games sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And you just know, like, your opponent will play a turn 1 Diablo, the green one, the look at your hand.
Yep.
And you'll have one song in it.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll ink that song.
Yeah.
Like, they know you inked the song. They're still ripping that Ursula every time. They're still
playing it every time. Every time. Even if you try to get clever and ink the one song that they saw because you drew another song.
Yep.
And then they just play it anyway and you get obliterated because now you don't have any songs.
They are always ripping that Ursula.
Yeah. This was one of my favorite play patterns on the draw against green decks was they play a green card. I ink a different 1-drop and play a Cinderella, and then they just slam Ursula and I go, I don't have any, sorry. Got nothing.
Yeah.
Promptly draw it off the top. Blast a Diablo, yep.
The popsicle.
This card reads like it's just so innocuous and it's like, okay, that's kind of cool. You get your card back, like maybe you can heal something later, but this was another one that was really frustrating to play against. Like the
heal incredibly relevant all the time, like particularly
all the time.
on Maui's, on Smee's.
Mm-hmm.
Just really good. It turned out that not having to pay a cost in addition to the banishment of that item ended up just being devastating. Like at the time Tamatoa came around, the 6-cost Tamatoa, it just became this like devastating draw engine. It turned out they didn't need Hiram, right? They just needed these popsicles, Tamatoas.
Yep. If you drew 2 pops and one Tamatoa, you're off to the races.
Yeah. The first pop was just so critical in those games. Like people were playing visions for their popsicles so that they could find them with pops. It just, the value engine when the popsicle train got rolling with Tamatoas and before that with Hirams, it was just like the games where they had popsicle versus the games they had to lead on like ice block and bust that with their Hiram were just completely different games. It was so powerful. And then the healing the Maui's and all that, it just was, it was so good.
Paying for a Hiram and banishing your own popsicle, you're already +1.
Yep.
If he quested and you banished another popsicle, you're +3. It's absurd.
Yep.
That's absurd. It's funny looking at this list. I think many people would agree that Popsicle and Rapunzel were in the top 15 of cards from the first year, but healing in and of itself is an awful thing to spend your resources doing.
When it's a secondary thing, it's great.
When it's incidental, or when the reward for it is so high, like it is with Rapunzel. Okay, go ahead and heal your things, but any card that just says remove 2 damage from one of your things or remove 3 damage from one of your things is just never ever gonna be played in sleeves competitively.
Yep. And then last but not least, probably I ran this list by a few people.
Okay.
And I wouldn't say that anything on the list was contentious because there was a lot of, I basically ran it by high level players. Some of them even qualified for Worlds.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, there wasn't a ton of contention, but there were a lot of people that got to the list that were like Smee. And then I would just explain why Smee, because it was like ubiquitous in every steel deck forever. It was played in blue steel. Yep. It's like how you got to 10 so that you could combo with, Bell and Dime early in the format. When green steel aggro was a real thing in set 3, it was Mr. Smee.
And then later Ariel and Dime.
Yep. Never came out of Amber Steel basically ever.
Nope. He plays offense, he plays defense, he sets up Rapunzel.
Yeah, easily the defining 2-drop, in my opinion, in the game.
Yeah.
He's like an A 7 different ways, right? Mm-hmm. Like he's an A on defense,
mm-hmm.
A on offense. He's inkable.
Yeah.
He works with Rapunzel. He survives through Let the Storm Rage On, so you can play him on the draw, which is like one of the things that's just like critical in these mirrors.
Yeah.
Where it was an A+B with Piglet, and then when Lady came around, it just went crazy.
Yeah, being able to follow up a Be Prepared with 2 Smees was just very strong.
Yeah, he was so good.
They'd have to use like a Medusa on him. Couldn't brawl him. Couldn't Sisu him without help.
Didn't get ran over by Fox.
Nope. Traded up against Fox.
Yeah, did it all and got 2 lore on the way out. Just like,
yeah,
I think the steel decks are really gonna hurt post. Like everybody's worried about Amber Steel aggro, but winning on the draw without Mr. Smee, man, is just
hard.
Yeah, he's so good.
I would mulligan aggressively to find Smees when I was playing basically forever.
Yeah.
If you are on the draw against a more aggressively slanted deck, I'm sending back 6 or 7 sometimes looking for Smees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably one of the only 2-drops in the game that like was equal on power level with Sail and Sail the Azurite Sea and Tipo.
Yeah, I agree.
Like one of the things that like punishes them for doing it was putting a Mr. Smee into play, whereas like the purple decks never had anything to punish that line.
No, I'll be missing Smee. I'll be sad he's gone.
All right, last 3. Any idea where we're headed?
We haven't talked about. Well, you mentioned briefly a moment ago Sail and Tipo, and I don't think we could put one jump in this top 15 list, but the 2-drop ramps were very good. Yeah. I don't know what the last of the 3 cards would be.
All right, so the last ones are all ones that are coming back.
Okay.
Young, hot, single, and looking. You can pick them up today.
Mm-hmm.
And bring them to the ball next year because they're going to be right back here.
Yeah, this makes sense.
Maui Shark changed the way red, purple, and red, blue played from the moment like he arrived. Like the red, purples were a little late to flip over. Yeah. But like basically as soon as he showed up, if you go to the the North American Continentals, he was all over the red, blue lists. With Peter Pan. The Peter Pan Shadowfinder just defined red purple once he showed up.
Yeah.
A 7/5 for some reason. Basically,
7/5,
the card that killed
evasive.
the castle, Queen's Castle. Basically became unplayable and swapped out for Library when he showed up.
It was really, really hard to turn anything sideways into Maui.
Yeah, it took a Pirate's Life from a bulk bin card I didn't even know I had. Yeah, in foil to like a $20 foil. Pirate's Life. From the moment the Maui Shark came up. Yep. DKP defined his deck his red blue shark deck with the with the Manors and the Pirates Lights and the Super Goofs.
Yep.
It probably was the best deck at the end of set 8.
Oh, absolutely.
Won the world championships with it. Just had the most nauseating consistent line on the play where you would just go Popsicle, Sail the Azurite Sea, How Far I'll Go, Shark.
Yeah. It was really it was really interesting too, because like that specific breed of red blue deck was like the only like normal deck you could play at Worlds.
Yeah.
you had to warp your other color pairings around how awful the format was.
Yeah. But it just worked.
And then you could just play then you could just play Ramp Shark.
Yeah, interestingly enough, most of the world's competitors went items. Probably, in the vein that it was like this really polarizing. It was this polarizing format, and you wanted to like not play middling cards because like those were what it gets hated out of when you're playing these two extremes with hyper aggro and red blue, and like items was like kind of hard to hate out, with the exception of the item stuff.
Right.
And then DKP shows up, Maui Shark wins mirrors, and it's just like, I'm here ready to party.
Yeah. I'm not here to do anything fancy. Yeah. I'm here to play Sail, play How Far I Go, play Shark, win the game. There you go.
Yeah. And just like so brutal with Manors, because eventually like they play Manor, you got to exert into it, and then the Shark is just like ready to wait. It's just too much. A lot of people, sneak in one of Vitalospheres in there to give the Shark, and like it's so hard to play around. In a strange spot post rotation, because red is just very bad.
Yeah. Like all of the good red cards except for Shark are going away, and the red cards that replace. When I say replace, I mean, that are going to be here instead are red's new color identity. So congratulations, you're the singing color now.
Yep.
We're not giving you any
which would be good with
sing.
Maui Shark.
Yeah.
Maui Half Shark.
Yeah, if there were songs for those cards to sing.
Yeah. So Sail the Azurite Sea, in my opinion, just one of the biggest design missteps
absolutely
Ravensburger has ever made. There was a time, before Tipo and Sail the Azurite Sea came along where they were just on one jump ahead, and you every game were fingers crossed, praying that they just missed ramp, right? And then if they were on the draw, you had Ursula, and you could potentially snag it and like really set them far behind, right? And then Tipo came out and really smoothed out their decks, allowed them to tuck their uninkables, be a little more greedy in their mulligans. And then Sail the Azurite Sea came along and just like redefined the way you played red blue. People went down under 10 uninkables, still playing Tipo to smooth them out, but playing 10.
Yep.
And there's like two egregious things about this card, in my opinion. Like the first is that it's inkable.
Yeah.
So like if you draw it in the mid, like if you draw it after turn 2, it you just put it in your ink wall. Like who cares?
Right. Yeah.
And then the other thing is like for some reason it draws a card. So if you're top decking at 8 ink, you could just draw it. You're like, here's a rebuy. Oh, Maui Shark. Boom. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. This has the other egregious design issue on this is the ink comes in ready. You can use the extra ink that turn. It's like it costs 1. God. This card's going to be with us for another year at least. I don't.
This is really funny about this card in Tipo. They reprinted one jump ahead, and there's just no shot anybody's going to look at that.
Yeah, no way.
Another year, people are going to forget it's in the format again.
Yeah, I had forgotten. I had forgotten it was coming back.
Yeah.
But this card. It's just like that it draws a card. Obviously, this card is inspired by a very infamous Magic card called Explore, which is draw a card. You may play an additional land this turn, and that card is fine. That card is fine in Magic, is obviously very good in Magic. At the time, it might still be now. I don't know. Um, but in Lorcana, like you don't have lands. You just have inkable cards. You don't
Yep.
have to, like with Explorer. You could sometimes miss. You would
Yep.
sometimes not have another land to play. You could sometimes draw another land when you top deck this late game. Right.
Yep.
This just turns into straight gasoline because we get to play 60 real cards in our deck. I don't like Sail. I hope
Yeah, it's my least favorite card in the current in of all the cards that are like coming back post rotation, it's the one I have like the biggest beef with. I just could get it out of here.
Yeah.
All right, and then our boy Pete. I mentioned with a whole new world that there was a card that came along that just set a whole new world over the top. As a be prepared enjoyer, the a whole new world into Pete plus 2 daisies or Pete Piglet on my B prep turn.
Yeah.
Was like, Ariel sing it's blah,
yeah.
blah.
Oh, I did that to so many people. Or even if you don't have the Pete into wheel, but you're going into their turn 7 and they've been like crafting their game and playing their hand, where it's like, okay, you've been devoting as little resources to the board as you can. I'm just gonna pay 5 and wheel you.
Yep.
They discard 2 be prepareds. They draw 7 and grown, and
in some ways Pete's a hero. Like he only punishes people trying to do unfair stuff.
Yeah.
If you show up with Mufasa, Pete doesn't harm you.
Nope.
Right? It's a deck building decision, right?
Yep.
You choose to play into Pete. But like he's a hero. He's like one of the only things you can play on the draw to like flip an Amber Steel Mirror.
Yep.
Like if they aerial, or like you think they're setting up aerial, or they're going to go into a Naveen, you get Pete.
Or the only thing to flip like an Ursula 3 mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
The most vocal Pete hater I know plays the most degenerate decks you've ever seen.
Shout out Pandemonium Heart.
Shout out Pandemonium Heart, yeah.
Hey buddy, how you doing?
He wants to make you discard your hand uninterrupted. He wants to under the sea all of your things without without you having a say, and then Pete comes along and ruins his day, and you'll hear about it. And it's very funny every time.
Yeah,
I love that guy. He's great.
Even as a red purple enjoyer, I like Pete. I'm on. The only reason I could play red purple was because people had to play around. Pete, like they couldn't do full degenerate stuff.
Yeah, they had to respect.
But eventually
Pete
they would play into Pete. The Pete enjoyers, and it would be good.
Yeah, it's not a secret to people who know me that my favorite card in the game is Tiana Celebrating Princess, which is a permanent Pete. But she was made unplayable largely by the red cards that were printed. So when they printed Pete, and it's just like, you get this effect right away, but only for a turn. It's like, I only need it for a turn. I only need it for one turn, and then I can win the game.
Yeah.
I love Pete. I'm so glad he's gonna stick around.
Those are our top 15.
Yeah.
Now I got one more slide for you.
All right.
The cards that could join the ball next year. Got a bunch of them just cascaded around here.
Yeah.
We got Doc, Namari, Calhoun. Elsa, Iago, Genie, Clarabelle, Rapunzel, Lewis.
Okay.
Daisy, Lady, Tiana, Into the Unknown, Alice, King Candy, Hades.
Yeah.
Any ones that jump out at you?
I think if we look back a year from now, I think we might find ourselves being a little silly thinking Lewis could make it to the ball. Because Reckless, giving something Reckless basically says that character sings on its player's next turn.
In full disclosure, I made this list before I knew about Dumbo.
Right, yeah. Dumbo makes him look a little silly. Strength of a Raging Fire coming back makes him look a little silly.
Yeah.
I've been seeing some brews and some theory crafting go, well, I need to put a couple more songs in my deck so I don't just get blown out by Lewis. And I think as more sets get released, the less and less relevant he'd be. Are we deleting things?
if I had to pick, these are my
Okay.
6 for who's coming back next year.
Well, two. Yeah. So 2 cards are in one deck. 2 cards are in another deck, and then the remaining 2 cards go in both decks.
Yes.
And Doc is probably the best card draw card we have moving into set 9.
Easily. Like the reason
Yeah.
I think purple steel will be a deck is because it gets Strength of the Raging Fire, which is a premium removal spell in the format. It gets
Mm-hmm.
Doc and Genie, which are the 2 premium draw cards in the format.
Yep.
Um, so if I had to
Yeah.
guess, that would be where I landed.
Yeah.
Um,
Calhoun is the best on the draw card in the game
yeah,
remaining.
if you think the format is going to be these 4 cards,
Yeah.
you just got to put 4 Calhoun in to beat, to win games on the draw.
Yeah.
As now we know, at the time we're recording this, the entirety of set 9 has been revealed.
Yeah.
Lilo probably also going to be invited to the ball next
Lilo will
year.
probably be invited to the ball next year. Cricky was a mainstay in even the most aggressive green decks, and he would just win a game by himself a lot of the time.
Yep.
If your opponent needed to quest with a couple things over a couple turns, and Cricky could just clear the whole board, the game ended on the spot.
Yep.
Lilo doesn't give +3, but she does give Challenger +2, and that is a pretty good impression for a card that costs 2 less ink than Cricky.
Yeah. If we, in my opinion, for the early set 9 predictions, I would guess Blurple, which has 3 of these cards, right? You get Sail the Azurite Sea, who's returning. You get Genie.
Yep.
You get Purple Steel, which has these 4. You get Amber Steel, which has these 4.
Yep.
And Pete, right? The 2 steel decks potentially get Pete.
Yep. Pete's a good one.
Most of the aggressive characters right now, the quest for 2 and cost 2 are all very susceptible to Under the Sea. A lot of people are cutting Pete's. I would leave the Pete's in there. It's a great inkable card that makes sure that you don't get blown out.
Yeah.
The one that doesn't have a home currently is Maui Half Shark.
Correct.
But I suspect that by the time we get 4 more sets, there will be enough actions that Maui Half Shark will have a definitive home.
Yeah, I would hope that they wouldn't shift or give Red this color identity of having singers, having one of the most popular musical characters in Disney, in Disney franchises, as the face of Red moving forward. It seems that's of course Powerline, with just nothing for him to do.
Yep.
And once they give Powerline things to do, he is going to be such good friends with Maui Half Shark.
Agreed. So that's it.
Yeah.
Year 2, season 1. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of Elsa and Strength of the Raging Fire, I believe you have a list for us.
I do. I sent that to you in Discord if you want to pull it up, or I can pull it up.
Go ahead, pull it up.
I'll pull it up and I'll share my screen and we can talk about this. So, as we mentioned earlier, formats tend to be defined by the removal spells. You have to build your decks in mind with the ways that people can interact with you in mind. You have to respect. That you might be trading down into a removal spell. You might have to respect that you can't ever turn a 2/4 sideways because Madam Mim Fox will just eat it. Well, we don't have a whole lot. Well, I have a list of 50 some odd cards here.
50 cards.
Let's see, where are we at here? This one. 50 some odd cards. So this is post-rotation removal list. Let's see. Yeah, we'll just go up to 10. We can kind of see here. Actually, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm wholly unprepared for this.
There we go. We're ready.
There we go. This is a loose definition of the word removal, but these are a lot of cards that can interact to remove opposing characters from the board in some capacity.
The Scroop.
The Scroop. Scroop is funny because Queen Anna is in the same set, and I think Queen Anna is actually a very good card, and I don't think Scroop is a very good card.
Yeah, so when we were setting this up before all of the cards for Fabled had been revealed, and we didn't know about Strength of a Raging Fire coming back, we had the Elsa tier of removal, which was just her
by
sitting
herself
at the top by herself, waiting for somebody to join her.
Yeah, it was Elsa tier, Dumpy tier, Lewis tier, and then all the rest.
Yeah. Thankfully, Strength of a Raging Fire came back, and now another reason potentially that quite high on purple steel post rotation is that not only does it get the 2 premium draw spells, but it also gets the 2 premium removal.
Yeah. So I don't think a lot of people realize this, but this card got a secret errata by being reprinted in set 9. It's now uninkable. You can't. I mean, not literally. You can still ink it, but
it's like Popsicle, the first one. It's the first Popsicle. You
probably can't ink this card anymore because
in my early testing with Amber Steel, which is a little aggressively costed, because of Doc and Calhoun and Daisy, and sometimes Tiana, the uninkable situation's a little rough.
Yeah,
drawing that second Strength of a Raging Fire on turn 3 when you need to ink something to play your 3-drop is just
so awful.
It's like, oh no.
Yeah, because in the past you could safely ink like 1 Raging Fire, sometimes 2, because you had access to Along Came Zeus or Fox or Let the Storm Rage On. But now it's like you have 4 premium removal spells, and that's it.
Yeah. All right, so let's go to the top and
let's
just
go to
quickly.
The top.
Will it? Yes, cards. Let's just pull out cards we think we'll see play in set 9.
Okay, I'm gonna say yes if the meta has a lot of one.
Yeah, for sure. I think Dump Truck will be
these 2.
JDR showed us a light. You could definitely play Dump Truck. I think Anna and Luis for sure we'll see play in green decks.
These 2 for sure. Possibly this one, but she's a lot worse now.
In the thing I'll note about Sisu is she is likely playable in red purple because of the existence of Dumbo. Because that one is not as bad after the fact into say Blurple. Like you can at least just get a card out of it with Sisu.
Yeah, and people aren't going to before you could just let the Storm Rage on the Sisu and move on. You wouldn't feel bad about using your removal card there. Nobody's playing Strength of a Raging Fire on this card.
Yeah, the other thing about Sisu is like, if red purple if it's going to survive in the format, the apex predator that it's going to have to worry about is Blurple, right? Like it'll probably be able to fight Amber Steel pretty well, but Blurple will go over the top of it. Like you do got to get the Tipo out of the way for your Beaking Undisputed, right? And like Sisu, like that feels terrible. It's like it's not going to feel good.
Yeah,
but you got to do it, right? That Tipo is just going to sit there. I'm a spellbook Tipo enjoyer.
You're going sideways with him every turn.
I'm turning mine sideways, but like if I'm playing against red decks with BKU, it's just like you got to pump the brakes. You got to slow down.
You cannot let him get challenged.
Yeah.
No, Sisu being clearing a Tipo and then getting a card in Allura off a Dumbo later, and then eating a challenge from a Genie or an Elsa is probably what you want to be doing for a 3 ink investment. Well, I guess a 4 ink investment.
The other thing I'll say about Sisu is against Amber Steel. Clearly, it will take out Tiana, Daisy,
a damaged
Penny,
Pluto.
But also, it's the thing you can whack a Pluto with it.
Yeah,
and like set up your Iagos or your Moanas to come in and finish the deal.
Well, you could whack a Pluto with it and then use the second one to take out the damaged Pluto.
Yep.
Yeah.
In the next row, Bell's clearly going to see play in Blurple, maybe in Purple
Bell will
Seal.
continue to see play. This will probably be a centerpiece of a Racers deck if it ever comes together.
Yeah. If it works, that'll be it. Elsa, we think, is a top tier removal spell.
Elsa, we think, is a top tier removal spell. I want to talk about bounce a little bit.
Yep.
I don't think you should be using bounce spells as your removal.
Yeah.
If you paid 6 to return, or if you paid 5 to return all of their stuff to their hand, they can just replay it. You still have to deal with it. If
that
you
could have been potentially devastating against Amber Steel if it was like shift 4 or 3 or something.
If it was like shift, if you could shift this on 4 after one of the 3-cost Jasmines, because there's the 3-cost Jasmine that gives Reckless, which we didn't include other giving Reckless cards because Lewis is an exception because he enters Exerted. He gives them something to challenge right away, and he has a lot of strength to remove whatever's challenging him. But there's the green Jasmine that gives Reckless or what does she do? Exerts a damage character.
I don't know the other effect.
I don't know the other effect. And then there's a red Jasmine that takes a lore from your opponent whenever she quests. I don't think this card's very good. I think she's too slow, and then your opponents will just replay their stuff.
This row, I think 3 of the 4 are probably very likely to see play. John
this
Silver,
one, and this one.
Tinkerbell, notably an ally for Blue Steel. If like the Jasmine Allies deck comes together, Tinkerbell's probably in it. Basil, a lot of people are pretty excited about Blue Green, and Basil's like quite a good finisher in that kind of deck. It bounces a key thing, and then kind of starts questing. It's a good singer.
And if he starts questing, if your opponent's Basil starts questing when you have cards in your hand, it's going to get real bad for you real fast.
Yeah, Mother Gothel, just you can't play it against stock.
You can't play you can't play this card.
Yeah,
you pay 6 to let them draw a dock.
Yeah,
not very good. This might be the best board wipe in the format.
I disagree because Blurple is so poor without like friends and Popsicle and all that kind of stuff. They're like my Blurple testing, I play Monstro and like I hit something, discard a card, and like I'm empty handed and I got to hit my 2 things, but they had 4 and it just doesn't work. Vincenzo likely to see play.
I would love to be able to put this guy in a deck.
Yeah. He's a big boy, hard to get rid of.
He's big boy.
Now that Brawl's gone.
Yeah.
Now that Medusa's gone. Now that Sisu is gone.
Yeah.
Also notably an ally for, if you wanted to go a bigger allies route.
Yeah.
If you wanted to do some Tipo Pleakley stuff, you get to 7 real fast with Tipo and Pleakley.
Tipo and Pleakley, yeah. He goes for a lot too. He ends the game very quickly.
He also he scraps with Lilo too.
Yeah. Lilo is a messed up card. I love Lilo.
Yeah.
That card's so good. Hades, I think, will continue to see play. People are very excited he's back. Mixed feelings about the enchanted version that's coming. Some say Some say he's too bald, but some people love him.
I'm bald, so I don't.
Yeah.
I can appreciate bald Hades.
Bald representation on enchanted Hades. I'm so sad they didn't.
Prince Philip.
I'm so sad they didn't reprint Chief Bogo.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, we were so close.
Yeah.
Possibly in red green though, right? Like with the Queen of Hearts, there's a natural curve of the 2 any of the 2-cost Queen of Hearts. There are 2 that came back. Right. There's the rush and the 1/4 into the shift Queen of Hearts, and then you wait a turn, then you can put Bogo into play and wipe everything out.
Yeah. You could do Return of Hercules to put him into play. But that's only things that have been played after the Queen, right?
Yes.
Because she
which
places
is
a
potentially
damage counter.
everything. It's like Tiana, Pluto. Like it just, can't play Pluto into that because it just puts some damage on it.
Then he's just a 1/5. Yep.
A quick word on Maleficent Dragon. If red purple is able to compete with Blurple, I think Maleficent Dragon is going to be one of the big reasons why. Very unlikely that you could ever naturally get to 9 ink in
Yeah.
this format, but with Into the Unknown and Hades, they will help you do that.
Yep.
And then Maldragon is a way to go over the top of Blurple. So possible. And if like Red Blue is playable, for sure it's on the back of something like the
Yeah.
Maui Half Shark and Maleficent Dragon.
Yeah. All right. Let's do 2 rows at a time.
Fire the Cannons, very likely to see play. The rest of those unlikely.
Yeah.
Wrong Lever is the only one on the next line that I have a word on. It's not nearly as good as it was before.
No, having to pay retail for pull the lever is a
Yeah,
bit
it's
worse than
like
being
not.
able to discard
We're
it.
used to being able to just like freely get pull the lever into the discard.
Yeah.
Either by discarding to shift in our Diablo, or just like if you're playing a Green Mirror, they might like sudden chill you and you just dump it. And like sudden chill is coming back; it's part of the cards that are reprinted. But without Prince John, like I just don't expect the discard strategies to be very popular.
No, I don't.
And so
I
like
don't
now
either.
you have to like this card used to be a a unconditional removal spell that costs 3, and now it costs 6,
Yep.
and it's like you have to get rid of the pull first, and that's
Yeah.
very difficult.
Yeah. There are a few draw and discards. There's a color shifted version of Set 1 Simba.
Yep. Bobby
the Cheese Whiz Kid, or the Cheese Spray Kid. Draw and discard, but those cards are understated. So like you play something that doesn't contest the board very well to set up like your removal spell, but then you fall behind on
and
board.
like get you off curve too, right? Like you
Yeah.
kind of want to merfolk on one if you're doing that kind of stuff,
Right. Yeah. Smash is, I think, a reasonable thing to be coming back.
Yeah. Of these, I think like there was a little hype around Tug of War when Dumbo got revealed. I think we can move past that.
Yeah.
Nobody's playing Tug of War to answer their 4 cost evasive 3/3.
I hope not. I'll play Smash to answer a 4 cost evasive 3/3 though.
Glimmer versus Glimmer, possibly going to see play because of the Racer deck. Like you just need to be able to. You have a bunch of like what is your Gloyd doing?
Yeah.
After you suck the lore from him, you just chuck him to Glimmer versus Glimmer and take out a Hades or whatever.
Right. Yep. This is the card that I want to be playable, because the upside of getting this off is going to be very, very big. Like kill a thing, draw 5 cards sounds very appealing, but getting damage on your stuff is not easy.
I think like if you set a line and like to the left was unplayable, to the right was a playable card, I think this is like God, what it's like like stepping over the line.
It's like straddling the line.
Yeah, it's like this is the card that potentially is playable.
Yeah. It's really close. If they print more things that come with damage, that aren't that can be played in a deck with this card, so not dual colored cards, or if they don't spread them out like they did with Pirates all over all the colors, this might be playable in the future. Right now, I think it's
very
really hard to set up.
The type of card to like get your copies of and hold on to, and like they may never print, but there's certainly something that could get better.
These 2 cards in particular, I find very offensive.
Never going to see play
because Dragonfire was. I'm going to talk about him because I like to complain. Dragonfire was never ever playable at 5 ink uninkable, and they're like, well, here's the same card, but we made it inkable for you, but you have to pay 2 more.
Wait a second, because friend of the show, no, I'm not, Kendall. Played a single out of Dragonfire. Not neither of these two. In his whatever event he played in.
Ruby Amethyst.
And his last at a Ruby Amethyst, he had his Metafight guy in 1 Dragonfire.
I'm not going to count that.
These other cards.
Yeah. These cards are just offensive. Like, come on.
Be prepared or the same thing.
Be prepared, or You can have Inkable Dragonfire for 7. Um, we
I
did it.
all right, I got a little bit more. I got a little more on those two cards.
Okay,
Anybody who
I'm
saw
so
these
glad. I'm
cards,
so glad I got you talking about
anybody who
this.
saw these cards roll out in set 6 and 7,
Uh
and then thought Be Prepared was coming back,
huh.
you missed. There was a message on the wall that you just
Yeah.
didn't pick up on.
Your unconditional removal costs 7
Yeah,
to banish chosen character. Um,
the songs. We're back.
the songs. This is numero uno by a lot.
Yeah, I am willing to bet that 6 of these will see play.
Not this one.
Yeah, not.
No, I agree. Yeah. Yeah. Into the Unknown seems very good. For Blurple decks. It answers several aggressive characters that are hugely problematic for Blurple to deal with through challenging.
Yeah, likely the easiest way of all of the cards on the list to get rid of, like outside of like the human Sisu, like this is just the thing that gets rid of Tiana, right? It's like
Yep.
It's painful to give them an ink because they're an aggressive deck and they might dock you next turn and be able to use that resource, but like
Yeah.
you just got to get it off the table, you know.
Yeah. Mother's note. My God, I can't speak. Mother knows best. Is efficient enough that you can actually gain tempo from this and really set somebody back if you can sing it like on a 4-drop while you deploy your board. That can get you far enough ahead and set them far enough behind. Like this I think is 2 or 3 tiers above the Shift Jasmine in terms of what a playable card is.
An interesting underexplored color combination right now is green steel. Like I don't see almost anybody talking about green steel.
No.
I'm quite fond of it in my early testing, and like one of the reasons why is you just have, like, if you squint, that's an uninkable strength of a Raging Fire. Like if you
really look at it at just the right angle,
yeah.
I mean, it kind of does the same thing. It's just
it's copies 5 and 6 of strength of Raging Fire.
Yeah.
With the benefit, and I've done this in testing in the last like 3 days. I've sang Mother's Knows Best on my own dock to pick it up and replay it.
Perfect.
That's a draw. I just converted a removal spell into a draw 2.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
It's sad Doc can't sing Mother's Knows Best. He should have Singer 3.
The dwarves are good singers. Hi ho, off to work we go.
Yeah,
it's classic.
The one Strength of Raging Fire is fairly obvious.
Yeah, Strength of Raging Fire is in the running for top 5 card in the format.
Yeah. Blue green, if that deck exists, it's probably playing your Welcome. It's very likely to be a Clarabelle Under the Sea style deck, and like
possibly Bend to Your Will.
Once you get to the point where you're like deploying John Silvers and Basils and Clarabelles, like you're happy to trade. You're happy to get rid of a threat,
cards.
Give your opponent 2 cards, and you also get 2 cards with your Clarabelle, because it's very likely the 2 cards you're going to get are better than the 2 cards your opponent's going to get.
Yeah.
And it's just like this unconditional answer. It even answers items and locations should something like a library or whatever be, whatever that 5 cost uninkable steel location is that has 2 lore pips. The Galactic Council or whatever. Like if that becomes
Treasure Mountain or something
Treasure
Mountain.
Like if that comes around, like you're welcome to just like pick it up.
Yeah.
And then Be King Undisputed is just like the Ruby song package is like kind of a thing.
It's kind of there. There's a 2-cost Singer 4 and Ruby now.
Yeah, you get a Pirate's Life. You get Be King Undisputed. If you go into say Amber, you get Be Our Guest, and you get World's Greatest Criminal Mind, and you get Look at This Family. This is my family. Whichever family song is getting reprinted in Amber. There's potentially something there with the Shark and the Ruby Singers.
World's Greatest Criminal Mind is an interesting one because Yellow or Amber itself has like a built-in system to make it work, which is support. Except all of the support cards are bad. Like the game designers really, really, really value support highly as a powerful keyword. So they put it on 1/3s and 2 3 or 3 3 1 3 3 1s for 3, and the cards just don't justify the rate because support isn't that good. But
Yeah.
if it were more incidental and less of a balance style, then I could see decks playing World's Greatest Criminal Mind a lot more. Where if you could quest with two good on rate supporters, maybe two strength things that you play on turn 1 and turn 2, and then you can just blast whatever with World's Greatest Criminal Mind. Like, that sounds great to me.
Yeah. Speaking of support, a lot of my early testing, before a lot of the cards were revealed, we thought like Blurple was like a lot of its core were sticking around. Like, sure, it was losing Bell and Popsicle and friends, but like the rest of it was sticking around.
Yeah.
And so we were testing that, and I had the thought that blue green could go over the top of Blurple. So I handed my buddy Blurple, and I played blue green, and I got to play the 5 cost Rapunzel. They're like Anna, and it's like, oh, this is great. Next turn I'm like, quest it can't, it can't quest anymore, and so now it's like the support and the draw card ability are just turned
Yeah.
off.
Yep.
Then they're like, oh, I'll play another Anna, and it's like, all right, John Silver. You're,
Yeah.
you're at close.
Rapunzel and John Silver together are going to be very, very difficult for certain decks to beat.
Yeah, lots of them.
Basically, you don't get to quest anymore. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Two very cheap Princess Legendaries shot up in the span of a couple days as spoilers were coming out, and the removal situation was looking more and more bleak.
Yeah, I think we got two more cards on the list if you scroll down, right? Oh,
4 more
wow.
cards. Items and locations.
Items and locations. The items are probably not going to see any play, but
Nope.
Ice Spikes could.
Ice Spikes could. Ice Spikes is probably a stand-in for every card in the game that says exert chosen character.
Yeah.
Because there are a handful of them, and none of them have ever been quite playable, except for Elsa, and then set to Pinocchio. But that's just kind of how that's just kind of what the game demanded. But as we got more options, he fell out of favor.
Yeah. Interesting little bit of Dave Attackfortwo history. In Toronto, I didn't make day 2, but the competitive constructed side event on Sunday was set 5, so Elsa was available.
Yeah.
I just ran back the same 60 with Pinocchio and finished second. But no Elsa has played Pinocchio instead.
Nice.
It was cheaper.
Nice. Yeah.
Speaking of Elsa, her Ice Palace.
This card could be good, but they made it bad.
If John Silver, the steel location caring about John Silver, comes back, and
he is coming back.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's coming back, but he's not coming back because the locations are bad.
Right.
And,
yeah.
And so what John Silver needs is some 1-cost locations that are like the lore
Neverlands,
yeah. So the only one that's coming back, I think, is called Neverland. That costs 1. Like, there's only one.
It's going to be the only
1-cost luring location.
The Amber one, right?
Yeah, the Amber one.
That one was after set 4 sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But suppose they chose to bring back whatever the purple one was, Fairy Ship. Wait, purple's got one, right?
Oh yeah,
Fairy Ship's coming back.
Fairy Ship should still be around. Yeah.
So there you go. Right, but like we need like a surplus of like 1-cost locations, right? But so like the way that John Silver is supposed to work, right, is you play John Silver on turn 3, and turn 4 you play like 3 locations, right? You play 2 1-cost ones and 7 Dwarfs Mine. But maybe Ice Palace, again, in a blurple metagame where you need to pin down Iago, so that your John Silver can keep questing.
Yeah,
it could happen.
Yeah, it's definitely worth exploring now that Fox is going to be gone. The 3-cost power line that can gain rush might box it out of the format if those decks can consistently give him rush. But this card was unplayable in a format that had Madam M Fox in it. 7 Dwarfs Mine doesn't really lose any of its supporting cards. All of the knights that the Dwarf's Mine decks have been playing are still around, but I haven't really seen too many people talking about
It
playing mines.
I tried it, but you just feel you can't combine it with Let the Storm Rage on anymore to like
Yeah, you can't.
banish a bigger thing,
Yeah,
and
you can't
so
team up.
it doesn't do any. Right? Like
Uh,
Strength of a Raging
uh,
Fire was already banishing everything you needed to banish, and like Let the Storm Rage on, plus the one or two from Door's Mine used to be
mm-hmm.
able to combine to make bigger things, but without that
Yeah,
combo, it's just
it's
not.
yeah.
It's not
This
worth
also
it.
was like an extremely efficient Diablo answer,
Yeah.
and now there's no Diablo caliber card to answer,
Yep.
or that this answers, so it loses utility there.
Yep.
Um, yeah, I think the format is going to be defined by Strength of a Raging Fire, Elsa, Fire the Cannons. Maybe
Defined by
may
Fire the Cannons. Very hot
I don't know.
take.
I don't know. The removal options, Dave. The removal options are so bad.
Yeah. No. That's
Like
why. That's why we're playing Purple Steel.
I
Or
know you have strength, you have Elsa, you have
so
a
many
couple
games
other things.
that I've played so far are just Steel Soup games, like
Yep.
Amber Steel, Purple Steel, Green Steel, Red Steel,
Yeah.
and like it's just both sides are two Captain Hooks, a Calhoun, and a Lawrence just
Yeah.
staring at
You
each
just
other,
just looking at each other.
and
Yep.
both it's like, but we're just like looking at each other, and it's like, wonder if we can just reveal our hands and like decide who's going to win this game.
Yeah.
And it's like we both are just holding two Leelas, waiting for the other person to turn
Yeah.
sideways. It's like, all right, well, let's do the who finds the first dock or first strength game,
Right. Yep.
and kind of break this thing wide open. But it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all I
Yeah.
got.
Yeah. I think Steel kind of has this like 20 to 24 card core that's going to be pair that you can pair with basically any color and have a somewhat reasonable deck.
Yeah,
Steel
interesting.
looks very good moving forward.
Kiwi is in the blue steel Kiwi decks are in an interesting spot.
Mm-hmm.
Alice, obviously an incredibly powerful card.
Yeah.
Alice Pluto, very strong.
Yep.
Um, but nothing's really to do before it because you lose me,
No.
right?
Yep.
So
No.
you
No
don't have
Smee
this
anymore.
aggressive question before it. And also, what are you protecting your Pluto from anymore?
Yeah.
It just
Yeah.
it's like there's
Yeah.
nothing that could nothing could take it out.
Yeah. We'll see how see how things shape up. I know
Yep.
the first events are going to be in a couple weeks here. I know there are a couple of release weekend, but those are a mix of who put together a competent 60, who was able to scramble together the cards by opening a ton of sealed product,
Yeah.
and which replacement level cards were they playing.
I've
Um,
already put my bat signals out for Lilos because
mm-hmm.
I'm going on travel until
Yeah.
2 days before Ink Inc, which is a few weeks away.
Yep.
And so there will be we're gonna probably play the pre-order game and hope they show up in time,
Yeah.
or $60 Dumbos as the alternative.
Yeah.
But
We'll see. Um, yeah. I kind of consider the tournaments not opening weekend to kind of start being the actual real meta, and what's going to influence the meta. So I'll be looking forward to those. I
yeah,
think I think there'll be things to glean and stuff that we'd want to test from the opening weekend, but there's a lot of a lot of caveats to
yeah.
the success of those players.
Whose stomach, or who can stomach a 80% drop in the value of their Lilos in 1 week?
Right. Who just showed up with their their set 5 to 8 cards. That is I guess one of the nice things of 171 reprints is that you might be able to just build a deck without any new cards.
Yeah,
Yeah.
looking at you, blue green.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, if you have all the cards for that deck already, like you don't need to open any packs to scramble to get new stuff.
Yeah,
Easy.
All right.
All right.
That's fun.
Should be fun. I'll see you in 5 months.
So yeah. See you after Ink.
After Ink. Yep. All right.
After Ink.
All right. Talk to you later, Dave.